The 417Gamers is a group of board, tabletop, and card gamers in the 417 area code. This is the podcast. Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast, Episode 2. In this episode, Andrea and I discuss 4 things we're enjoying in the 417 area, or at least looking forward to. Then for our 1, we discuss a topic of the week. We discuss gaming with family. We're heading into the holidays. What do we look for? What do we like? And for the 7, we talk about our favorite 7 party games. Let's get into the 417 Gamer Podcast.
Welcome to the 417 Podcast. This is Andrea.
This is Rick.
And we are working on our top 4 things that we're looking forward to or enjoying in the 417 at the current time. Mm-hmm. Would you like to start us off, Rick?
I can start us off.
Okay.
Hey, every year, Metagames has their tabletop swap meet. And this should drop on November 10th. Their swap meet will be Saturday, November 12th. So if you catch this podcast in time, come on out to Metagames. They're just off of Sunshine and 65 in Springfield, Missouri. Yeah. Most of the tables, I think, have already been rented out. But each year, ahead of time, you can rent a table, bring some of your used board games, tabletop miniatures, whatever, stuff that's been clogging the stuff up. But it's got to be tabletop themed. You can't just bring video games and posters and whatever you want to. Come on out there, and you can trade with people, sell your stuff, and look for some bargains or maybe something hard to find.
Yeah.
Every year, I have found some stuff that, maybe I was looking at years previous and didn't really want to pay full price. Right. Get a little bargain, play it a couple times, see if it needs to stay in the collection, or be happy that, I paid $5-10 to play something a couple times and kick it down the road to somebody else that maybe liked it better.
Yeah.
And then also some stuff that's either out of print or maybe that's between printings. Downfall of Pompeii is something that's out of print. I picked it up last year. You're seeding the town of Pompeii with your family members, and so is your opponents. And at a certain point, the volcano, Vesuvius, erupts, and then you start laying lava tiles down and try and kill everybody else so they can't get them out of the city.
Ah.
Fun little game.
We try and kill everyone. Fun little game.
Well, and your characters are just little cylinders. I kind of want to upgrade them to meeples, not to miniatures because I think that's a little over the top. But I'd like to upgrade those to meeples. But they've got a little plastic volcano. It's just a little you kind of snap it together. But I stole one of your tea lights that flickers, so it kind of looks like a volcano.
That's awesome.
I know. What's something you're looking at?
Well, we are getting ready to wrap up a campaign of a legacy game that we've been playing called My City. Mm-hmm. We've had some friends that we've been playing with. We only get together about once a month. Yeah. And so it's taken us quite a while to play through the whole game. And this next time that we play, it will be our final chapter.
As long as we can get to all 3 games.
I'm sure we will. And I am both excited and a little bit sad because we've been playing this game for so long now. I'm excited to wrap it up. I'm excited to see who wins after all of our struggles. I'm also a little sad to see it go, but I'm sure we'll get a new legacy game going quite shortly. But I am looking forward to that final game that we've been building up to for so long now.
Yeah. Be interesting. See what the last chapters are, and then you still have the other side of the game. That's the forever game.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Werewolf. Moon City Con is putting on Werewolf, and pre-pandemic, it's something that the 417 Gamer Group got to do about once a quarter or once every 6 months. But as everything happened, shutdown kind of killed a lot of things, and we didn't really... We've maybe done it once, and I think it was kind of a private affair. Mm-hmm. Small group, outside, social distanced, right. All that stuff. But we are going to be at Banter Brewery on the south side of town. I think it's 303 West Plainview Road, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen Black Friday night from 6 p.m. until close. We're going to go out there, play some Werewolf, maybe sample a few of their brews, And if you get a little snacky on the back side of the brewery company, Marco's Pizza is there, and they're more than happy to walk you a pizza over, which is so nice.
And it's a really nice facility. They've got a back room with couches and really comfortable chairs and a little fireplace, and where we'll be away from the center of the actual bar, where it can get a little loud and noisy. Yeah. But it'll be a nice theme, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. Good to see some people out. We have some faces that coming back from everything. People switch jobs, switch schedules. Some people had kids and can't come out to the game nights like they used to. But I think with Black Friday and having family in there, some people have been able to find, or at least tentatively think they might have some kid sitters for a few hours while they come out and argue with each other and call each other liars. But if Werewolf sounds like a good time, you can look at Moon City Con's Facebook page, or it's also been shared in the 417 Gamer group. It's going to be the Werewolf at Banter Brewery, and Banter Brewery has also shared it with us.
Yes.
What else are you looking at?
Well, because it is that time of year, the Thanksgiving era, we are starting our schedules of who we're seeing what day, because you can't see everyone all together in one big meal.
No.
But I am, it's fun to say that I'm enjoying figure out who we're going to see on what day, because there are some of those groups that we can play games with. Obviously, some you can't, they'll be more interested in...
Which we'll talk about that in the topic of the week. But
but I am looking forward to just getting to see people we haven't seen for a while. We're having some people come in from out of town that we've not seen for a while, and it's our first time to have a real proper Thanksgiving since the shutdown.
Yeah,
and I'm really looking forward to the traditional get together part coming back.
Because like you said, everything shut down, and we've really been tentative because we have some loved ones that have immunity issues, age, health, all this stuff, and we've been very tentative on how many places we go.
Yeah.
Because, 1 or 2 gatherings were probably okay, but it's finally this year that we're, our loved ones that want to be vaccinated have been.
Yes.
And the ones that have chosen not to, we understand. And at this point, we're pretty confident that we can go to family and loved ones' houses. Yeah. And we should be fine. But with all of that, that's our 4 in the 417. Let's get on to the 1, which is our topic of the week. Topic of the week, gaming with family. We're heading into the holidays. We're going to see some loved ones, some of the younger ones, some of the
older ones,
the aged ones, so the more experienced.
Oh, yes.
People that have many experience points.
Right.
If you play tabletop and you play like Savage Worlds, you get raises and edges, but you also get hindrances. And I feel like in life you get more of the hindrances than you get the edges and the raises. But that's neither here nor there. So, kind of getting some ideas of what you look for into trying grabbing the right game for your family and friends, or what games you try and steer clear of and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, what's important to you when you want to game with your family?
Well, my family has a really broad genre of things that they like. So I try and focus on something I think everyone is going to be able to, 1, participate in, and 2, enjoy. So I find that games that are cooperative, co-op games, work really well for my family. Games like either Pandemic or Horrified, where you're working together as a team, you're trying to defeat one common enemy or task, and it doesn't really matter what your level of gaming experiences is when you're working on a team like that, because you can be like, hey, I'm not sure what the best move is right here. What do you think? And you guys can collaborate and say like, well, I've played this game before and we tried that strategy and it didn't work. So maybe we should try this instead, and then be like, oh, okay. So things where you can, and it's also that, that bonding and that teaming up helps, relationship build, I feel like. And it'd be really good for if you have, sometimes when you have a family gathering, they might bring someone new, someone might have a new spouse or a new boyfriend or girlfriend. And if you're playing a game where everyone's opposite of each other and you're competing against each other, they might not know exactly, how far to push it. Should I be super competitive or should I let them win, make a good impression? But if you're playing some sort of co-op game, I think that helps everyone feel more at ease and a part of the unit, part of the group. So that's my vote is for co-op games.
I like co-op games, but I also, to your point of getting everybody involved, that's something that my aunts, my mom, in both sides of the family really like, is everybody being able to play the same game.
Yeah.
So that's why I look sometimes, quite a bit, at party games. Party games usually hold more people.
Of course.
They are less rules intrusive, usually fewer mechanisms. Mm-hmm. I would say watch for the game getting stale. Catchphrase is a game that our families have loved, and so we have some friends that like it too. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, I really feel like that game starts to get stale, and be mindful. If you are going to bring party games, bring maybe a variety. And it doesn't really hurt to break out some cards and play some card games either.
Yeah, we have some people in our family that love spades, hearts, mm-hmm. So just throw in a game or two of that every once in a while.
And they also sometimes have problems and they like hand and foot, and that's okay. I still love them, but it's, as far as our game group goes, and most gamers, whenever you have 7-8 people, the best solution is to break up into 2 groups of 4 or 4 and a 3.
Sure.
And play a good game.
Yeah.
But in the holidays, I really feel like you need to take your gamer out of you. Be the ambassador of your hobby.
Yeah.
I've absolutely ran into this myself. I've ran the gamut of being brand new into the gaming sphere, wanting to learn about it, and then trying to pull some of my family and friends into it, and then rubbing their nose into it and buying them gifts from my,
I love this game. You will too.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
Ticket to who? Settlers of what?
You're right.
And then years later, oh, you're crowd selling my game I gave you. That was like a $40 game. Yeah, no, I don't. It's nice. We played it. No, you didn't. But be the ambassador to your family. I would say, keep your expectations of what you want to play and really be like a GM. GMs facilitate a story, and they try and make sure the people at the table are having a good time. Mm-hmm. They need to have a good time as well.
Sure.
But if you want to bring out Cthulhu May Die, that's probably not the right call for your family.
Grandma's like what?
Yeah. But I also think bringing a variety.
Yeah.
Our family, especially my dad's side, bigger family. Mm-hmm. And when we start out, we might start some party games, but then people might migrate to the couch and watch Christmas Story for the 19th, 58th time.
Yeah.
Other people might want to just chat and catch up. And then I've got family and uncles that do like playing some of the heavier stuff. Right. And that's great. We can go off to the other room and we can break out Viticulture, Wingspan, Grand Austria Hotel. But that's not everybody.
No.
And we also kind of sometimes get boo-boo faces when we do sneak off and play the but at least I could blame, older people than me. No, Uncle said it was okay. Probably shouldn't have thrown him under the bus, but at least I'm not in trouble with Grandma.
Right? Oh. Well, I think, when you're packing your bag, some lightweight and quick. I think quick is also important because, some people are just dropping in, grab a quick plate, maybe play a couple games, and then they've got another dinner they've got to get to, or they got to pick up little Tommy at so-and-so's house, or,
Mm-hmm. But, so yes, be the ambassador you would want them to be if they were trying to show you their hobby.
Yeah.
So if you have a family member that really wants to show you their brand new car, and you really don't care, understand that they're probably not too dissimilar with you and your games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know you want to have fun with them, and maybe you have one of those families like I do where there's some political affiliations on both sides, and you'd rather just get them to the table so you don't have to hear about it. And we're coming out of midterms, and I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I understand what they believe. They've believed what they've believed for most of my life. Mm-hmm. Their discussion and argument has not changed. It will not change. Mm-hmm. Maybe it might have by a few percentage points. But by and large, they're going to have the same arguments. So if I can get them in front of a game and we're laughing, we're having a good time, and enjoying each other's presence, I much, much prefer that.
Yeah. So what do you recommend for people who have a large age spread? They might have, a lot of kids, and the adults. What's something that you think everyone can play besides tic-tac-toe or, something?
That's where I lean heavily into the party games and having a varied collection of party games.
Yeah. Party
games I kind of feel like go in our closet, but I feel like they are an important part of our collection.
Yeah.
Your wits and wagers, your telestrations, code names, Pictionary, taboo, catchphrase. Having a varied collection with the kiddos being able to put them in teams with adults to where they're still being able to contribute.
Right.
But not to where it gets dropped in their lap and they flounder. Because nobody wants to fail in front of family.
Right.
If you get beat fair and square and it was a good game, fine. And nobody wants to just get their their butt spanked and sent home with a boo-boo face.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to play that game again.
Right. And if you play small scores, Pictionary or Taboo or something like that, you can call it quick enough to where everybody's like, all right, the teams weren't,
Right, yeah.
One team was way more knowledgeable about things than others. I mean, even if you played guys and gals and then somehow you picked out, I don't know, like sports, a sports trivia game that and it's not necessarily that the guys are going to know, but there might be a group set that knows it way better than the others.
Yeah.
Or if you did like Star Trek Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
There may be a pocket of people that really know it and the others don't.
Right.
Try and get a party game that satisfies the biggest broad variety that you can and that will satisfy the group size that you have.
Yeah.
So, is there any games? What games do you look for first? If you're going out to, we're going to go meet family and or friends. You know that we're probably not going to have too many gamery friends.
Yeah. What's
like a game that you just need that's one of the first ones you grab?
It depends on who we're going with. Because I have a lot of friends and family who don't game at all. So for them, it's going to be just going to have to be the light and quick is good for them. Are we moving into our top 7 party games here, or?
I'm just one, just one. It doesn't necessarily have to be your favorite game. Because it's not my top. It might be in my list.
Right.
But Telestrations satisfies so many different group ages.
Yeah.
And vulgarity levels. Because the base of Telestrations, there's nothing vulgar in that box. And you can tell everybody, they're all one-word answers. Yeah. There's nothing vulgar. And if you can draw, great. But if you can't, it's even funnier.
Right.
You can play with the score on the games, but I don't. I usually use it as an activity We play some stuff. We pass the thing around. It's a game of telephone. Mm-hmm. At the end, we show and tell our, how far the word came from what it was. We laugh, we giggle, and we go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Usually we play it at least 2 or 3 times. Because after the first time, I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Nobody is made a fool of.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have some bad drawings in their flip books. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to have some bad guesses.
Absolutely.
And then some people are going to have some amazing guesses based on what the picture was. You're like, well, corn cob holder. I'm like, how did you get that from that stick figure?
Right.
But I think kids can draw a good enough stick figure. And I think you have the people that are not artistically inclined, that if you throw them up there on Pictionary where they're the only person drawing in front of everybody, they get very self-conscious. Mm-hmm. Illustrations, everybody's drawing at the same time. Everybody's guessing the words at the same time. So when everybody's trying to look up, I'm like, nobody's paying attention to you. Everybody's got their own thing going. Mm-hmm. And that's one,
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it is, I'll spoil that. It's going to be in my list.
Yeah.
And so whenever we go to a place that I know their age is going to be varied, and I've got the big 12-player box, that's one of the first ones I'm going to grab.
Smart. I guess mine is not as gamery as yours, but for my family, Uno.
Yeah.
We grew up playing Uno. We learned to count with the Uno cards, So I know that's something that everyone, even, the older crowd would, I know how to play that.
Yeah.
And that's something that is my number one look for, is that I want to make sure everyone feels like they're included and able to play and having a good time.
Understood. Well, those are the games that we would like to play with family. That's some of our tips maybe for you to go play with family. Mm-hmm. Bring a variance of games. Err on the lighter. Play stuff that you want to, but kind of design what you're going to bring to the people themselves. Mm-hmm. Not try and put yourself in a back seat.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't bring Power Grid to Christmas.
Well, I mean, don't say that. You might have a family member that likes Power Grid. But know your audience.
Right.
Absolutely know your audience. If little Billy wants to play Power Grid and Grandma's just kicking butt and she can, manage her markets, bring Power Grid.
Sure.
But by and large, that's usually not the case. Fillers. I didn't even touch on fillers, and maybe I should grab that real quick. Some of our filler games. Ohanami, the little drafting game where you're building a water garden. Mm-hmm. Llama, which is a better Uno for me.
Yeah.
For sale. Mm-hmm. It's 2 rounds. You're bidding on properties, then you're selling those properties off for money. Mm-hmm. Your light little filler games, No Thanks, is a great one. The Game, The Mind. Really quick little games that you can get in and out, plays just a few people before everybody gets around the table. Because there's sometimes that people are going to be intimidated by games they've never seen before.
Yes, very much so.
So if you could play just a little 4 or 5 player filler game and tell them, hey, these party games you've not seen before, they're not as, they're about as complex. Mm-hmm. Just hop in and play. Sorry, that was a little ramble off to the side, but I had to say fillers.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go on to our top 7 games.
I like it.
You got 7?
I do.
I got 7.
Well, that's 7.
That's 14, but, people that were griping about 14, we're doing all 14 as our 7, because
I'm sure some will be the same.
There might be.
Yeah, so that'll be less.
Yeah, and then next time we're going to see if we can get a friend on, so we can do another 7 and make it 21.
Woohoo!
You know why?
Because that's a lucky number.
7. In the 417 area, we have a friendly local game store, Metagames Unlimited. And this year, they're finally able to bring back their Holiday Bash. If you're in the 417 area and are interested in going to the Holiday Bash, go to Metagames, buy a game of $25 in value or more. They'll wrap it up, and you are entered into the Holiday Bash. That night, we'll get together, we'll play some games, and everybody will get to, in a random drawing, get to pick one of the games to take home. Come on out and have some fun. Now, on to our top 7. the 7 in 417, we usually go over 7 of our favorite of a thing. Mm-hmm. And our topic for this 7 is our favorite party games. We talked about the things we're going to bring to family and for the holidays. But one of the games I said that styles of games, party games. Yeah. So we're going to go through our 7. Andrea, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is one that I recently started playing called Just One. Mm-hmm. I like it because it involves a lot of people. And I really enjoy it because it's a simple premise. Anyone can play it. You have a card with the center person picks a number 1 through 5, and that word is what everyone else on the table has to pick just one word as to try and get the person to guess mm-hmm. what the what would you call it, the
code word.
The code word is. And the catch is that all of the people trying to get them to guess, you can't do 2 of the same word. Like if...
Because they'll cancel each other out.
Right, exactly. And those get pulled from the game. And it's so hard to try and figure out something that will, get the person to guess, but not as the same word you think everyone else is going to use because it's so obvious. And what's really fun is when 2 people or 3 people or 4 people or 5 people all do put the same word, and it's like, oh no, oh my God. So the guesser only has like 1 or 2 clues to go off from, which makes it very difficult. But I've really enjoyed it because for a game with such a simple premise, we've had a lot of fun. And with our heavier gamer friends, too, playing this game.
It's played pretty nice variants of ability.
Yes.
We really haven't explored the age variants yet.
Yes.
But heading into the holidays, we just may.
Yeah.
My number 7 is Wits and Wagers, designed by Dominic Caraputes and published by North Star Games. Mm-hmm. Wits and Wagers is a game where they're all number questions. It's trivia, but you don't have to know it. So a question comes out like, how many gallons of water does the average American drink in a year? Everybody has dry erase little boards and markers. They write down their answer and put them face down. Once everybody has an answer, they flip them up, and you arrange them from biggest to smallest on a little felt mat. Mm-hmm. Then everybody has a poker chip to bet with. You put it on the answer that you think is the closest without going over. So you don't have to have the right answer necessarily. You need to be able to bet on who has the right answer.
And so many times I play this game and I'm like, oh, that's a way better answer, and I bet on them.
Yeah, and there's quite a few times that you had the right answer, you just weren't willing to bet on yourself.
I didn't have that self-confidence.
The reason why I like this quite a bit. There's not a whole lot of mechanics in there, so it can burn a little bit quicker than some other party games. Mm-hmm. But what I like about it, since they're all numerical answers, you can use this in the office area. You can use this as birthday parties. You can use this as team building. You can use this in the classroom.
Yeah.
To where they're all numerical answers anyway. Mm. Group people together, and if you've got like an office party, maybe talk about how many clients you guys have turned over, how many cold calls and sales, or how many phone calls do you answer, if you have certain metrics that are pretty cool to talk up your business, your group, your class, or whatever, you can play it and make up your own questions and kind of DM it along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andrea, your number 6.
My number 6 is a new game for us called Ready, Set, Bet. Mm-hmm. It is a wonderful party game because it plays up to 9, and it is simple and easy. Anyone can play it. It's basically you're rolling dice to see what horse moves forward. If you roll a 7, the number 7 horse goes forward. If you roll a 3, the number 3 horse goes, It's super simple. Anyone can play it. What you're doing as participants participants is betting on which horse you think is going to win. Because if the number 7 horse moves 3 times in a row, you're like, oh, looks like number 7 is going to win. So you bet on number 7. And then the next 5 rolls are number 9. You're like, oh no, I'll bet on number 9 now. And so it's real time. So it's quick because you're always rolling the dice and each horse is moving and moving. So you're like, oh, hurry. And when there's a lot of people playing, you're all on your feet and you're all like trying to bet on the horses before the next person gets, oh, I wanted that spot. I was going to bet on that horse. And then at the end, everyone's screaming, oh, come on, number 9. No, number 4. And even our heavy gamer friends who were poo-pooing the game and they're like, oh, that doesn't sound like very much fun.
They immediately bought it next week.
Yeah. And another cool thing about it is it has an app a free app you can get for your phone that it will run the horses for you.
Yeah.
That'll say, the number 7 horse is moving up. Oh, and don't forget number 3. Here she comes out of the gate. So that was pretty cool. So instead of having someone roll the dice to move the horses, they can then participate in the betting as well.
Yeah. The narrator on the app is really good.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Pitch Car, designed by Jean Dupuel and published by 417 Games. This game I have a lot in my collection. It's one of my top 5 of all time. I think it was like 2 or 3. But I have so much of it that I can play 16 players off of the regular pucks. But honestly, when we play it, we usually use crokinole pucks that have been painted or stickered or whatever.
Yeah.
And pitch car, large wooden pieces, you put them together to make a track, you flick the stuff around the track, you do 2 or 3 laps. It's one of those games that can play that age range. We've had all the way down to like 5-6-year-olds, play around a little bit, and maybe they can't compete on the harder tracks.
Right.
But if you keep it simple, they usually can do okay.
Sure.
And the more experienced, aged people in our group, they have a great time too, to where it's not super crazy dexterity. You just flick a wooden disc around a truck,
The track.
And everybody are going to have some really bad shots, and just about everybody's going to have that really, really cool shot that they can tell somebody about.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't break it out at every party, but in the right space, this game can really sing at a party. Andrea, your number 5.
My number 5 is Monikers. It's kind of a combination between charades and Trivial Pursuit and
Taboo,
$100,000 Pyramid. It's really good because you can do it in teams. You could do boys versus girls if you wanted to. But every time that we have played it, it's just been so fun. Everyone gets so animated and they get so into it. The first round, you have a person or a thing that you're trying to get the other person to guess. And the first time you can say multiple words. And then the second round, you can only say one word. And
it's
then
the same stack of things.
Right. So if you're like, oh, last round, what card had that one word, that associated with that? And then the third round, you've got charades, where you have to act out, and you're like, oh my God, what card was that for?
Yeah.
And, so it gets harder every round and also gets funnier every round. So it is very engaging in that if you have a really animated group of people, I would recommend this game.
My number 5 is Telestrations. The designer is uncredited. This is published by the Op. This is Eat Poop You Cat, Telephone, so many different games. It's been renamed over the ages, but Telestrations is the retail very nice copy where you have a flip book. Everybody starts off with a word. You flip it, you draw the word, you flip it and pass it to your neighbor. They look at your drawing and try and guess. They pass it to the next person. They guess the drawing. So on and so forth. And you see how close your word came out or how far away.
Yes.
It's one of those games where, and I've said that in the topic of the week, to where Pictionary, while fun, has one person drawing in front of everybody, and people that are self-conscious of their artistic ability, it really puts them on the spot.
Yeah.
Telestrations, everybody's drawing at the same time.
Right.
Everybody's flip book are going to have some really cool drawings and some bad drawings.
Yes.
And it's going to be somebody that can't draw feet. And everything that has a foot's going to be drawn weird. Or somebody draws a goofy box car. Shut up. I draw a goofy box car. But Telestrations goes over very well. And I've got the 12-player party pack. If you have that many people around the holidays, I do recommend it being in your arsenal. It's just something great to pull out. Once again, this is something you can play in the classroom. This is something you could play with, maybe not necessarily in the boardroom at the work, but at a birthday party, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But Telestrations, Andrea, your number 4.
Well, my number 4 was also on your list, Wits and Wagers.
Ooh.
We have even used this at a birthday party.
Yeah.
The theme was, 1950. So all of we just looked up things on Google. What was the average price of a car in 1950? And everybody makes a guess. And then you bet on which one you think is the correct answer.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. Or you could make it Christmas themed, if you were going to a Christmas party, how much money was spent per person for Christmas in 2000, or you can tailor it to the event, and it is friendly for all ages.
Yeah, absolutely. My number 4 is Codenames by Vlaada Chvátil, published by CGE Games. Codenames, the theme is you have 2 groups of spies that are working together. You have 2 masterminds off that are looking at the room. And there's a whole bunch of people that have code names. Ooh. The master spies on Team Red and Team Blue get to see the key together on who's who. Mm-hmm. And on a particular team's team, they get to throw out a clue and tell you how many code names have to do with that clue. So you could say flying, 5. That means I think there are 5 clues on that board that have to do with my clue flying. And my team can discuss amongst themselves, and once they put their finger on one of them, I can tell them, yes, you're right, and put down one of our markers. No, you're wrong, and put down one of the gray people that look like they got smacked in the head. Or there's a black marker for the assassin. If you get your people to guess the assassin, that ends the game immediately, and he has killed your team.
Dun, dun, dun.
Otherwise, you go back and forth until somebody can get all of their code names guessed out of the room. Mm-hmm. It's a fun little game. It plays fairly quick. I have yet to have this fail. I know some people that aren't the craziest about it, but I've yet to see anybody just go, I don't want to play that ever. Usually people will hop in, or, in party games in the game group are something that we usually get to show off once or twice. They go in our arsenal, and we don't break out with the game group necessarily.
Right.
We usually bring them at parties and friends' houses and family. But that's Codenames, designed by Vlaada Chvátil and CGE. Andrea, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is off your list as well. It is Telestrations.
Ooh.
I like this because it is any experience level of games can play. And even kids could play this. But it is interesting enough that even your most experienced gamer is still going to have a good time. So that is why it made my list, is because it's fun for a large variety of people and ages.
Yeah. It's got a one of the lowest bottom floors of any of the games that we play, and one of the highest ceilings as far as age, ability, and how well this usually goes over with both.
Yeah.
My number 3 is 2 Rooms and a Boom. This is designed by Alan Girding and Sean McCoy, published by Tuesday Night Games. Tuesday Night Games. This is a big group game, and this is absolutely... So, whenever we say this plays this big group, this is not. This is a big group. It does not play well until you get to 12 people. And it plays really well between 12 and 24.
Oh wow! So a lot of people.
Yeah. So if you're having a party, I've been able to run this at a couple parties. I've been able to run this at conventions, and you might actually put this more in the convention game. But honestly, when I've been able to run this at a party, those were some of my favorite games we've ever played. 2 Rooms and a Boom, Team Red, Team Blue. Everybody's given a secret card. You don't know everybody's role until you start playing. Everybody is separated into 2 rooms. Oh, that's the 2 rooms part of it. Red team has a bomber. There's your boom. Blue team has a president. You go 5 rounds. At the end of each round, the rooms will swap hostages. At the end of 5 rounds, if the president is in the room with the bomber, the bomb blows up, Team Red wins.
Oh.
However, if the rooms can keep... If the president and the bomber are separate, the president is safe and Team Blue wins.
Nice.
You have multiple different roles you can throw in, so everybody can just be vanilla blue and red for your learning game. You have shy guys that can't show their cards, because it's a social game where you go up and you can go talk to people and be like, so what team are you? And you can just kind of show your card and you show them the color. You can absolutely just show them your card.
Yeah.
You can exchange. That way you can get a little information and try and win some power in the room. Then you can kind of deduce who has the majority in the room, or you can try and fake the majority. You know, whatever social game you want to play, exchange the things back and forth. The games I've had of this have been some of my most enjoyable games at parties.
Yeah,
that's why it's so high on my list.
Right.
You talked about in the last podcast some of your favorite games are because of the experience.
Yeah.
This is so high because of the experience.
Very much so.
Andrea, your number 2.
My number 2 is also on your list. It is Codenames. One of the reasons I like this game so much is because it is co-op. You've got your 2 people giving out the clues, but then your team could be 2 people. It could be 5 people that you're throwing your clues out to, and you're talking together. You're trying to guess, and that's one of the reasons I like it, is because you can have that work together aspect. And there are several versions of this game as well, not just the original, but like there's a Harry Potter version, which I had to have because I'm a fan. And I insisted we take it to game night, and I think you were thinking not a lot of people were going to play it, but it was sitting on the table, and we, no lie, had like 5 people come up. Oh my God, Harry Potter Codenames! Are you going to play that tonight? Can I play with you guys? So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. My number 2 is Ultimate Werewolf, designed by Ted Alspach, published by Bezier Games. Werewolf is a game where it can be made or broken based off the moderator. It's a big group game, not quite as big as 2 Rooms and a Boom. We're talking about 8 to 16. We've played 2024 before. You have day-night phases. Everybody has secret roles, just like 2 Rooms and a Boom. You have some people that are town, some people that are werewolf. During the day, everybody argues and tries to find out who the werewolf is, just through social deduction discussion. At the end, you try and lynch somebody and get rid of them.
Yeah.
During the night phase, some people have powers. The werewolves wake up and eat somebody and send them out of the village. It's an absolute joy to play. But I've played some games where... And it's been more at conventions. And conventions can be tough because it's so loud. But if the moderator is having to worry too much about the noise and trying to get to people, they can absolutely telegraph who's who and speak directly to them.
Yeah.
You know, Seer, who do you want to talk to and investigate tonight? But our moderators here in the 417 that have moderated, Catherine moderates very well.
Yeah.
Vaughn's moderated a couple. Ben's moderated some. Everybody seems to do a fairly good job, and it's a great time.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this to be coming back, and hopefully we'll be playing this on, what was that, the 26th is Black Friday?
Yeah.
At Banter Brewery.
Right. And I think it's the most fun to be the werewolf. I'm always get my card and I'm like, come on, werewolf.
Yeah. It's one of those where it's like, I'm a villager. And like, are you a villager? Yeah.
Maybe.
Hungry villager? Andrea, what is your number 1?
My number 1 party game has been around for a while, and it remains my top party game, and that is Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the hardcore board gamers out there are rolling their eyes because it's a very simple game. It is, which means everyone can play it, and something that I always walk away from this game is laughing.
Yeah.
Some of the combinations of cards you get are just hilarious. It is not suitable for work and maybe not suitable for family.
Know your family,
know your family and your friends. But if you have some open-minded people who don't mind some innuendo and things, this can be so fun. This can be like pee your pants funny at times, and I've had some of the best game nights I've ever had. Some of the
best peeing pants moments
of my life. Not the embarrassing ones. No, the good ones were during this game, and so I highly recommend it. Even if you think, oh, that's not really a game.
Yeah.
It is, and I can't stop recommending it enough because anyone at any level can play this. Not children. Don't let the kids play this game.
My number one is Monikers. This is also more of an adult game right out of the box. Otherwise, you can call the cards and get more of a family-friendly version. Mm-hmm. As Andrea alluded, this is out of the box, it's a 3-phase game. The very first phase, you pull up a card, you try and get your team or your accomplice or whoever to guess what is on your card. You can just read the description. You can describe the picture if there's a picture on the card. The first round you cannot pass. You have to go through that card. And there's anywhere between like 25 and 50 cards you're going through, depending on how big the group is. The second round, you're going through the exact same deck of cards, and one-word clue, one-word guess. And then the last round is charades. Mm-hmm. Minimum noises, but acting it out. This has gone over well at birthday parties, at holiday parties, at conventions. Monikers just always hits. I've had some games where some of the words came out and they weren't called properly because there was somebody probably a little bit too young to really know what a cocaine bear is and understood. But that was their monikers, and I said, I've warned anybody that has kids. Time's Up is the family-friendly version. It's already called. It already has the right. Nicer answers.
Yeah.
But I prefer monikers because it is fun, and I can play it with several different. And it also, if you got the Shut Up and Sit Down expansion, they have optional 4th rounds. We have done sock puppets. We have done Under a Sheet. We have done, I think we did Head Behind a Couch. There's some other options too. But Monikers is my favorite party game. I think that's it. We got our top 7.
That's it.
So we did our 4 things in the area, our topic of the week, and our favorite 7. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
The 417 Gamer podcast was written, recorded, and produced by Rick Bagwell and Andrea Smith. The songs Gentle, Beautiful Person and Making Up for Lost Time was made by Origami Replica. To find links to the music and our show notes, head on over to the Facebook page at facebook.com/Bunnin' on a Podcast. Until then, we'll see you on the next episode, where we will be discussing 4 more things we're enjoying in the 417 area. For our topic of the week, we'll be discussing gifting and your nerddom, and our top 7 family weight games. We'll see you then.